You're standing in the heart of Southeast Asia, a region scarred by centuries of colonial exploitation, brutal wars, devastating genocides, and decades of oppressive regimes. To the west, a country isolated for generations, its people trapped under military rule and international sanctions. To the east, nations that lost millions in ideological battles and horrific purges. Landlocked neighbors are struggling with bombed-out infrastructure and crushing poverty. Yet right in the middle, Thailand thrives. Skyscrapers pierce the clouds in Bangkok. Luxury resorts line turquoise beaches. Street food vendors feed millions while Michelin-starred restaurants draw the world's elite. In 2023, Thailand's GDP hit over 500 billion, with a per capita income of around 7,000 upper middle income status. Tourists? Nearly 40 million pre-pandemic, pumping billions into the economy. Let's start where it all could have gone wrong: the age of European imperialism. In the 19th century, European powers carved up Southeast Asia like a pie. Britain took Burma, which is now Myanmar. France swallowed Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia into French Indochina. The Dutch grabbed Indonesia. The Spanish, then the Americans, took the Philippines. Only one country in the entire region escaped formal colonization: Siam, modern Thailand. Why? It wasn't military might. Siam didn't have a massive army. It was brilliant, calculated diplomacy and two extraordinary kings. Kings Rama IV and Rama V modernized ruthlessly in the 1850s to 1900s, building railways, reforming laws, and creating a Western-style army to appear civilized and unprofitable for conquest. They ceded borderlands, strategically important parts of Laos and Cambodia, to France, Malay states to Britain, turning Thailand into a buffer state between British and French empires. While neighbors burned in wars and ideologies, Thailand balanced monarchy, military, and markets for pragmatic continuity. No Khmer Rouge genocide in Cambodia, killing 25% of its people, obliterating skills. No Myanmar civil war post-2021 coup devastating trade, inflating food 34%. No Laos re-education camps emptying cities. Fast forward to the Cold War. The 1960s and 70s were a nightmare for Southeast Asia. Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia were being pulverized by the Vietnam War. Millions died. Infrastructure was bombed back to the Stone Age. But across the border in Thailand, the war was a business boom. Thailand chose a side. They went all in with the United States. They allowed the US to build massive air bases on Thai soil to bomb Vietnam. In return, the US poured hundreds of millions of dollars into Thailand. While Vietnam was fighting for its survival, Thai hoteliers were learning how to cater to Western tastes. They learned English. They built supply chains for burgers, beers, and hospitality. By the time the war ended in 1975, Thailand had a fully functioning tourism infrastructure. Vietnam didn't open up to international tourism until the 1990s. That is a 20-year head start. Now let's look at the neighbor to the west, Myanmar. In the 1950s, Myanmar was actually richer than Thailand. It was the world's largest rice exporter. It had the best universities in the region. So what happened? In 1962, General Ne Win seized power and shut the country down. He didn't just close the borders, he closed the mind of the economy. He nationalized everything. He kicked out foreign investors. In a moment of madness in 1987, based on superstition and numerology, he suddenly demonetized large banknotes because they weren't divisible by his lucky number, 9. Overnight, millions of people lost their life savings. While Burma was canceling money because of numerology, Thailand was doing the opposite. They were rolling out the red carpet for the Japanese. This is the moment that changed everything. The Plaza Accord of 1985. World powers forced Japan to appreciate its currency, the yen. Suddenly, making cars in Japan was too expensive. Toyota, Honda, and Mitsubishi needed a new home. Japan moved in. Massive waves of investment flooded Thailand. They built the eastern seaboard industrial zones. This turned Thailand from a nation of rice farmers into a nation of factory workers and engineers. By the early 90s, Thailand was the fastest growing economy in the world. The development strategy Thailand used was incredibly unbalanced. They poured everything into Bangkok and the industrial East. If you lived in Bangkok, your GDP per capita rivals parts of Europe. If you live in the rural Northeast, it looks more like Laos. Vietnam is the new darling of the manufacturing world. Samsung makes your home in Vietnam, not Thailand. Vietnam's workforce is younger, hungrier, and their education scores are through the roof. Thailand is now facing the middle income trap. They are too expensive to be a cheap factory like Vietnam or Cambodia, but they aren't advanced enough yet to compete with Japan or South Korea on high-tech innovation. They also have a rapidly aging population. Thailand is growing old before it grows rich. Thailand invested in tourism infrastructure for decades. They trained hotel workers. They created a tourism authority in the 1960s, one of Asia's first. They marketed Amazing Thailand globally when their neighbors barely had tourism ministries. But infrastructure alone doesn't explain it. Thailand created an entire ecosystem. Street food vendors learned to cater to foreign palates. Tuk-tuk drivers learned basic English. Guest houses proliferated in every tourist area. Thailand made it easy to travel there, easy to get around, and easy to have an incredible time. Thailand is currently the #1 medical tourism destination in the world. Hospitals in Bangkok treat over 500,000 international patients a year. Why? Because a heart bypass that costs $100,000 in the US costs $15,000 in Bangkok. There's something else, something harder to quantify, but impossible to ignore. Thailand never experienced the cultural devastation its neighbors endured. The Khmer Rouge killed up to 2 million Cambodians from 1975 to 1979, targeting the educated, the wealthy, the skilled, and anyone who could rebuild the country. Cambodia lost almost its entire professional class. To this day, Cambodia struggles with this generational void. Vietnam lost millions in decades of war. The country was physically destroyed. Burma suffered continuous civil wars that still haven't ended. Laos was the most bombed country per capita in history. Thailand had its problems, coups, protests, and political instability, but it never experienced wholesale destruction. Thai temples still stand. Thai cultural traditions continued unbroken. Thai families maintained their businesses across generations. Today, the region is changing. Vietnam might overtake Thailand in manufacturing. Cambodia grows faster. Myanmar hopes for peace. Thailand didn't just survive its neighbor's fate. It turned geography, history, and hustle into prosperity. Thailand had advantages, yes. Geography, lack of colonial devastation, and ethnic homogeneity. But Thailand also made choices. They chose pragmatism over ideology. They chose openness over isolation. They chose to reform after the crisis rather than double down on failure. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe.